Miguel Ramirez will kick it off for Olathe after a 2-yard touchdown run by Willie Corey. An 11-play, 72-yard drive in 5 minutes and 19 seconds. C.J. Kukas and Eric Garcia are back to receive for the Bead Diggers. And this is a high kick towards Garcia at the 6, straight ahead to the 10 at the 15-yard line. Looks for a seam across the 25, still on his feet, and then take it down at the 27-yard line by Joe McCracken. And kickoff coverage, quite frankly, for both teams, even though we have a low-scoring game so far, has been very good.
You bet. They've done a good job of hustling down the field. You know, what I love about this game, you got two small towns playing against each other, one from the east, one from the west, and you see both teams trying to keep their top players on the field all the time. That time, Pyatt was right there helping out on the tackle.
1st and 10 for the Bead Diggers at their own 28-yard line in the 7-7 game with 7:17 to go before the break. Bead Diggers will have trips to the right. The lone setback is Skyler Seawald with 2 receivers to the left, and there might have been some confusion, and the Bead Diggers will be calling their first timeout. That's brought to you by Edwards Wright Price Market in Flowerland, 1201 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days at Edwards Wright Price Market and Flowerland.
Yeah, the Diggers had a little confusion. They come out in trips that time. That's not something they do a whole lot of, so they got to make sure that they have the right play called in that situation.
And that might be the subject of the discussion. By the way, David, gorgeous day. A little bit cool, but, I mean, the wind is really not a factor. We see the United States flag with a little bit of a kick to it, but it looks pretty mild for the most part.
You know, it's a little bit chilly. The wind's blowing off that lake over there, the Aurora Lake. You can sit up here in the press box, look right over there, and a lot of big, nice houses over there here on the west side of the lake, and just a nice place.
1st down and 10 for the Bead Diggers at their own 28-yard line. This time, they have 2 receivers split each side with only one setback. That's Skyler Seawald. Man in motion to the right is Morrow. Handoff Seawald, and they came on a blitz, and they got him right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Seawald was eaten up, and the tackle was made by Joe McCracken, and Olathe obviously has the right defensive strategy.
Yeah, they're just sending those linebackers and making it real hard for our offensive line to blitz people, but you got to give them credit, boy. They come through really low. They submarine through that time. They submarine right in that guard center gap, right past Hefner and Brost and Soto, and they got into the backfield before Seawald had a chance to do anything. 2nd
down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Morrow in motion to the right again. He's got the football and a seam to the outside of the 30-yard line. Speed to burn at the 35, and he's knocked out of bounds very close to a 1st down at the 38, maybe the 39, and give Tanner Morrow 11 yards, and the Bead Diggers did very well stretching out that Olathe defense.
So Morrow has 2 carries, one for 9 yards and one for 11, and his speed just has given him a lot of advantages out there. Right at the end of the play, Pyatt pushed him out of bounds real hard, but it wasn't until after he had the 1st down.
Your one-stop shop for all of your banking and investment needs, from checking to savings to IRAs, is Morgan Federal Bank, 321 Ensign Street, Morgan Federal Bank. There's a difference. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. 1st and 10 for the 39. 3 in the backfield. Olathe nearly jumped. Handoff left side to Weiser. He's got a yard. And this defense has been very impressive after that opening drive, and that was McCracken again, the defensive lineman on the right side making the play. Keep in mind, this is a 3-5 formation for Olathe defensively, and the Bead Diggers are having a little bit of trouble with it.
Yeah, you know, they use their outside linebackers like defensive ends, it seems like. You know, I watch them, and sometimes they go forward on the outside. Sometimes the guys that are up on the defensive line, they shoot outside to get containment. But it's those inside linebackers that are blowing through and kind of disrupting our backfield. 2nd and
1 from the 40-yard line. Garcia will hand it off on the right side. Big hole for Weiser across the 45 to the 46 after cutting it back towards the middle. Kyle Pyatt made the tackle, but it's a gain of 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3. This game is deadlocked at 7 with 5:35 to go in the 2nd quarter from Aurora.
Hopefully that nice run's going to help Brush get back into the rhythm of doing what they like to do the best and give them some confidence.
Valor Christian leads Wheat Ridge 7-0 in the 4A state championship game from Invesco. 3rd and 3 from the 46. 3 in the backfield in that horizontal eye. Handoff left side. Weiser 1st down. He snapped out of a tackle at the 46, but then kept his feet moving, and he's at the 50-yard line. A pickup of 4 by the junior Connor Weiser.
30 yards on 10 carries. So we like to talk about 4 and 5 yards in a cloud of dust. We're getting about 3 yards in a cloud of dust so far.
Well, they just gave him a 5th yard because the nose of the football is at the 49-yard line as Shea Hansen and C.J. Kukas come into the game. Kyle Muir checks out. Another beat digger had checked out prior to that. As we approach the 5-minute mark before the break, Brush 7, Olathe 7. The beat digger scored on Connor Weiser's 3-yard run. Willie Corey with a 2-yarder for Olathe at the 49 of the Pirates. Garcia on first down hands it off to the deep back Weiser, and he's got a yard to the 48-yard line, stacked up over there. And the first man in on the play was the linebacker Ben Kaler.
Yeah, we try to stretch that play out a little bit where it's not like they handed it off to Weiser, behind where the quarterback sets up. They let him run out a little bit wider before they handed him the football, and it looked like it was going to be open there for a minute, but they're running right at Pyatt, who's playing that linebacker position over here on the left side.
What a quick-moving state championship game. We have 4:19 to go, second quarter. 2nd down and 9 from the Olathe 48-yard line. The backs are split, Weiser and Morrow. In motion to the right is Kukas. Garcia on the bootleg right, and he's going to be hit at the 50. There were 2 Pirates there. Looked like they came unblocked. Kyle Pyatt was one of them, and the other was Cody Harrison. It's a loss of 2, 3rd and 11.
Well, it was Pyatt that blew the whole thing up because he's that linebacker, like I said, over here on the left side. Brush running right at him, and Garcia, he ran out over there. It looked like he was going to cut it back, but Pyatt's so strong. He just reached out with his right hand, grabbed him by the jersey, and swung him around and threw him down.
Dave, the Beat Diggers have attempted just one pass. They're going to have to open this thing up because the running game has been stifled by Olathe. 3rd and 11 on the other side of the 50. No running backs or no wide receivers. There's the give on the counter tomorrow across the 50 to the 45. He ran hard through that side and was able to gain 6 yards. How many tackles does this guy make? Kyle Pyatt made another one after the pickup.
I was getting ready to say we needed to run to the left side so we could run away from that kid so he's not, we're not always playing into him, but I don't think, wherever the ball's at, that's where he's at.
Olathe takes their first time out, so both teams have 2 remaining with 3:16 to go in the opening quarter. And the game deadlocked at 7. The Beat Diggers scored on a special teams mistake. A bad snap to the punter, Cody Harrison. And he was tackled at the 16-yard line. Beat Diggers needed just 4 plays in less than 2 minutes to score on Connor Weiser's 3-yard run. But since then, Olathe has had the edge, stopping the Beat Diggers and also scoring on Willie Corey's 2-yard run on a drive that consumed over 5 minutes.
Yep. Olathe took that timeout just because they want to stop that clock and give their offense a chance to put some more points on the board. The Diggers a lot of times have gone for it on 4th down here, when they're close to the 40. Today they're not doing it. They're going to go ahead and punt it. C.J.
Kukas punted once in the playoffs before this game. This will be his 3rd punt this afternoon, which is still this morning. Standing at his own 42, Zach Cosper is back deep at the 10. Perfect snap, gets it off. End over end punt. Cosper calls for a fair catch and has it just past the 10-yard line, maybe the 11, with 3:10 to go, second quarter. Brush 7, Olathe 7 in this 2010 state championship game from Legacy Stadium in Aurora.
Got to give Cosper credit. Every single punt we've kicked at him, he's made sure he's been in position to catch the football. He doesn't let him hit the ground and roll for any more yards than he has to.
34-yard punt by C.J. Kukas. He's had 3 outstanding punts for Brush so far. Even though none of them have gone for over 40 yards, the field position has not been good for Olathe in this game, and part of the reason is because of the Beat Digger punter, Kukas.
You betcha that makes a big difference.
1st down and 10 for the Pirates at their own 11. If they're going to score before the half, they're going to need a big play. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. And on 1st down, there's the give to Pyatt on the right side, and Joe Rosenbrock made the tackle after a gain of only 1.
There's a little counter trap. Pyatt lined up, like we said before, about 3 yards behind the center. He's only a couple of yards behind the quarterback, and he took that handoff real quick and followed his guard over to the right side. Your
full-service florist with a whole lot more is the Flower Peddler. Come in and see what's in store at 322 Main Street in downtown Fort Morgan. The Flower Peddler. 2nd down and 9 from the 12-yard line. Brush 7, Olathe 7. 2:37 to go before the break. Corey's in motion, has the handoff on the right side, follows a blocker across the 15, and he drives his way to the 17-yard line before he stood up by Kyle Hefner. But a gain of 5 yards, 3rd and 4 for the Pirates.
Well, we keep talking about him, but I'm telling you, the blocker he was following was Pyatt. So the guy's all over the field, and he's making a lot of big things happen.
You know, I know the Beat Diggers have some great players, as Austin Acosta is going to leave the game. He's a little bit hobbled, but Pyatt has clearly been the best player on the field so far in the opening half. 3rd down and 4 from the 17-yard line. Pyatt right behind Wallard. And there's the play action, the throw underneath, and Pyatt dives. What a catch at the 23! He took it basically off the turf. It's a gain of 6 and a first down. He had no business making that catch after dropping 2 easy ones earlier, but they'll mark it at the 24, and the drive continues for Olathe, and that's a huge play in this game because if he doesn't make that catch with less than 2 minutes to go, the Beat Diggers have great field position.
Right on, you know, and it was the same play that he ran for big yards that set up that touchdown for him earlier where they just faked a handoff to him over on the left side and then ran that quick out, and our linebacker on this side has to respect that option.
1st and 10 from the 24, play action, throwing off his back foot, incomplete. Joe Rosenbrock makes the play at the 28-yard line, intended for Pyatt, and I think that was a case of looking too much for Pyatt. They're going to have to use another weapon because the Beat Diggers were all over Kyle Pyatt on that play.
Well, judging from what they've done all season, I don't think they're going to look for too many other weapons. They're just going to keep going back to him because he's just shown how tough he is.
Well, Pyatt is the leading rusher and the leading receiver. I mean, your other runners are Zach Cosper and Willie Corey, and they've gained 500 yards apiece. But Pyatt going into this game well over 1,300 yards. 2nd down and 10 to go from the 24-yard line. 1:37 to go before the break. Wallard is going to hand it off right up the gut to Pyatt. Spins, backs his way to the 26. Penetration there by Kyle Hefner. And also making the play was Joe Rosenbrock, who's really thrown his body around, and Rosenbrock is getting up limping. 3rd and 8 after the gain of 2, but you know that Joe's going to gut it out for this game.
Yep, they're going to. I know how Joe is. He's not going to want to come out of there, that's for sure. But you know the Diggers are going to have to make sure that they have healthy guys out there on the field. They're going to be able to chase Pyatt down too.
1:05 to go before the break, and I think what Olathe is doing, they're letting the play clock run down. Then they'll call a timeout, which is smart because if they give the ball back to Brush, you want to limit the amount of time the Beat Diggers have left, and you can't really question whether the Beat Diggers should have called the timeout here because they've got Olathe in a 3rd down situation. Pirates take their second, brought to you by Edwards Wright Price Market in Flowerland at 1201 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. 52.2 seconds to go before the break. Brush has a 3-yard scoring run in the opening quarter from Connor Weiser. Willie Corey with a 2-yard run in the second. And we are deadlocked at 7 in a very entertaining game and a cleanly played game so far. 1 penalty so far, and that was an illegal procedure against Olathe.
Yeah, they just had that illegal motion, and they threw that flag on them right away. But I'll tell you what, both teams are just doing a good job of hustling out there and some good hard hitting, that's for sure. But I gotta tell you, I really respect both teams with the way that they're calling the game because they're punting the ball when they need to. They're not going for it on 4th down when they probably really shouldn't. You see Olathe right there call a timeout to give themselves a chance to get the first down, but also take some time off the clock. This is an exciting football game.
3rd down and 8 from the 26-yard line. Corey in motion to the right, and there's the draw to Corey up the middle, back to his right, and he's to the 27. Big-time play there by Skyler Seawald and Joe Rosenbrock, and the Beat Diggers will call a timeout with 43.1 seconds to go. That's only a gain of 1.
All right, what a big stop there. I'll tell you what, a little draw action, and Corey showed the kind of speed, and Olathe, they're thinking, let's give the ball to somebody else this time and see if he can break away after we spread these Diggers out. But it didn't fool any of the Diggers, and they were able to zero in on him and make those open field tackles.
Timeout brought to you by Edwards Wright Price Market in Flowerland.